All right. Hopefully we're back up and running. Looks that way. Excellent connection. Still got about a 40-second delay. But that's workable. That's workable. All right, I'm liking these game streams because they're helping me. They're helping me nail everything down. Since the last stream, I've moved the camera, learning lessons. Hopefully the stream will go all the way through this time. That'd be nice. If not, we'll just make it another two-parter like last time. Intermissions ain't a bad idea anyway, I suppose, if we go too long. This one might go as long as the last one. This one's going to be a lot more complicated than the last one. Literally. No pun was intended there. Oh, you know what, though? I can put music on for everybody. Let's see. There we go. All right. So the last stream or streams were introductory to. I guess this one is still introductory. We're doing introductory streams. To Marvel United, which is probably my favorite board game. One of the only things I held on to when I minimized everything, and it is everything. It's have it all. Some of the stuff you'll notice is sleeved, hence the glare. I apologize. I might put a wall up, or not a real wall, but like a cardboard wall up to block the glare when I do these. We'll see. But some stuff is sleeved, some stuff's not, but all my sleeves get here today. I'm in the middle of nowhere, so sometimes it takes a while. But all the sleeves get here today, and I'll do the painstaking chore of sleeving everything. Not really painstaking. If you're a gamer like me at least, you actually like that stuff. It helps me organize. Today's game is going to be quite more broad than the first game. So the first game was really just showing you the standard game of Marvel United with a standard villain. Abomination did win, but for a while when I do these streams, I'm going to be facing these villains and heroes fresh. I did read them or look at them all when they were posted in the Kickstarter last year, but since then I haven't really looked at them. So you'll be seeing me react to everything as if I'm new to it, albeit with an experienced point of view. So there's no unnecessary advantage. I'm not picking the heroes because of what they do or how powerful they are. I'm typically going to be picking heroes because of the storyline, or somewhat. I am weak in that I have to have a good story when I play a game. That's me. Probably why I'm a GM. Just about to say something. I forgot what it was. But later on, during we can talk about who we think the most powerful characters are and stuff like that. If there's games that you would like to see, mechanics that you'd like to see, you're always welcome to put a comment up. And like I said, we can discuss who we think are the most powerful villains or heroes, pets, etc. While we do these, it's kind of a side community to the big Facebook group that I'm part of. But so this game is going to be adding elements that I did not really go over in the last game. So this game's got the equipment. Equipment is new to mostly Multiverse, but it was incorporated in the Spider-Geddon box from last August, I think it was. Those were the first equipment cards. So the Young Avengers all have equipment. We're also going to play with the first pet that you'll be seeing, or that you have seen on my streams at least. So the first pet is going to be in this game. We're putting Alligator Loki on Wiccan. We're going to be playing the team decks. Both of the teams are going to have a team deck. So one of them is the Young Avengers, and the other is the Team Iron Man Avengers. It's really just three West Coast Avengers, but actually, I say that. Was Samson on the West Coast? Samson may not have been on the West Coast. I want to say it was. Not for certain. Regardless, three Avengers using the Team Iron Man team deck. And we're using team mode. So it's going to be 3 heroes per team. It's not versus. It's not the versus mode. Well, at least not necessarily. It is a versus, but it's not versus you're not damaging the other heroes. Whoever gets the most hits on Blastaar will be the winner. That reminds me, I forgot to put his health out. 9. And I grabbed 9. Okay. Teams. Okay, and it's also going to incorporate a challenge. 2 challenges. I always do heroic. Heroic is technically a challenge that's taking out both of the the standard wild cards from each deck, each hero deck. But we're also going to do the complications challenge, which is hard. Let me tell you, I've already tried the complications challenge, and it is rough. So experienced players only. I say that. Of course, you're not experienced until you play it, so that's silly. I shouldn't say that. Forgive me. But it is a rough challenge. It's one of the hardest challenges, if not the hardest challenge. And I've already put the complications in the master plan deck. That's already taken care of. So we'll see one pretty much right away. We're playing with advanced training as well. So once I clear Camp Hammond, we'll see that. That's it. That's all the stuff we're incorporating. So a standard game would have none of that stuff I just mentioned. You just have heroes versus villain. Typically 1 to 4 heroes versus 1 villain. But in this, we're going to have 2 teams of 3 heroes versus the villain with a challenge, 2 challenges, and also with equipment cards, pet cards, team decks. Now the Avengers, the seasoned Avengers, will not be using equipment or pets. They're just using their veteranness, their wisdom, their power. The Young Avengers, and I feel it was appropriate. The Young Avengers will be using all the equipment and pet. So that's really it. I've already got everything set up. I've got everything shuffled. I'll read you Blastaar, and then I already flipped the team coin, but we'll flip it again just for sake of the video. I don't think I need to twist that camera. And I had its light on a second ago. Does that help? It does help a little bit. I'll leave the light on. Okay. So Blastaar says he's got 9 health. His BAM moves 1 hero in his location or an adjacent one to the negative zone card. That is this. See my finger? No, that is this. Yeah. If that's not possible, draw a master plan card and add it face down to the storyline. They'll then deal 1 damage to 1 hero in each location adjacent to Blastaar's and in the location opposite to him. So that's two separate parts. The dealing damage is separate from the other. So just to be clear, because with me reading it, it's probably not so clear. He will throw someone into the negative zone if possible, and if that's not possible, he's going to put a master plan card down, master plan card down, face down. Then he's going to deal the damage 1 and 1 to his zone and to the opposite zone. The negative zone is new. It's a new gimmick. And to get out of the negative, I'll read the negative zone. A hero starting their turn here can forfeit any 2 actions of their choice to re-enter play in any location with a negative zone portal threat. The hero cannot move from here by any other means, which means we can't clear all of the portals either. They are threats, so that is problematic because one of our missions is to clear threats. So, yeah, it can require a lot of strategy. Okay, so that's Blastaar red. Oh, his overflow, excuse me. If one or more civilian or thug tokens can't be added to a location, bring back 1 random cleared threat into play in the first clockwise location without a threat. If not possible, 1 hero in that location or an adjacent one takes the damage. And then his villainous plot. The heroes lose if they are all in the negative zone. Playing Commander solo mode, which is not what I'm playing. We'll do a game of that, though. I was already thinking about that. Commander solo mode, the hero loses if they are in the negative zone at the start of a villain turn. That's rough. Okay. So the threats. Negative zone portals, these are the ones we need to leave some of them on the board. Heroes in this location may forfeit 1 rescue to bring a hero from the negative zone card back into play in the opposite location. Negative zone portal. Okay, well, that's easy enough. So we clear 4 and leave 2. All right, simple enough. I dig it. Let me think if there's anything else we need to go over. Like I said, the advanced trainings will come up once we clear the Camp Hammond because it's an end of turn. I suppose for those of you who haven't watched the other video, well, I would recommend watching it. Come on. Tells me excellent connection and then struggles with the connection. This is after I defrag my computer, so after this game I'll take another look at it. I did neglect to look at the RAM, so maybe that'll fix it. I think I need to be more visual. That might be part of the problem. So I'll try and move around more. Anyway, I'll do a quick game breakdown, super quick game breakdown for those who haven't watched the other video yet. But like I was saying before the connection issue, I do recommend watching the other video because it's more introductory. But each hero is going to have standard actions. There are typically 4 types of actions. There's one that is all 3. That's the wild that I'm going to refer to. There's a punch, which is hitting something, dealing damage to it. Rescue, which is rescuing a civilian, or typically getting rid of a threat that requires a rescue icon. That's most threats. Or move. Move is how you move. One move is one adjacent location. Each locations have slots for either civilians or thugs. When you hear me talk about overflow, if they're supposed to be added more than they can hold, that's an overflow. Thugs require a punch to get rid of. Civilians require a rescue to get rid of. And this is standard games. The threats, like I said, they typically require threats are these. These are threats. finger. This is the threat. There we go. This little card right here. Threat. So typically threats require rescues to get rid of. When you get rid of them, it usually opens, well, can't think of an instance in which it doesn't open end of turn slot. And end of turn slots can be nothing or good or even bad, depending on the location. The villains are typically what define your game. Most villains are completely different from each other. There are some villains that share characteristics, like a lot of the hunter type villains, Deathstrike and Sabretooth. Villains like that are pretty similar, but most villains are very different. Like MODOK, very different. And then there's also different gameplay villains, like Apocalypse, Galactus, the Phoenix Five. They all throw at the Sinister Six. Sinister Six says now, which we are going to do one of those, maybe the next one. We'll do that. Unless someone comes up with something better, we'll do a Sinister Six next. So typically the villain dictates the game you're playing, which is one of the things I love most about this board game, because even though there's standard rules, you change the game with your choices. So villains typically come with threat cards and master plan cards. If the master plan deck runs out, the good guys, the heroes, lose. If the heroes are all out of cards in their hands, the heroes lose, because your health is your hand. So those are the typical. That's actually the typical scenarios. Those are the two ways the heroes typically lose. But a lot of villains have their villainous plot that has different dynamics as well. A lot of them actually have a countdown or a chart. Yeah, it's varied. I mean, there's literally hundreds of villains, so I could do this all day. But the breakdown is each hero is going to have either a special ability on their card that they play, and or actions that they play on their card. And they benefit from not only their card, but also the card of the hero before them, but they only benefit from their particular specials in that turn that they're taking. The one exception is who I'm playing with today, and we'll go over that when I break down the heroes. Alright, so that's a quick rundown of how to play Marvel United. Hulkling is the special hero I was talking about. He has a card called Impersonation. That's right. So, Hulkling, at setup, you place this card in front of him, and as a special rule, he can use the special effects on the hero card placed next to this card as if it had been played by him in the storyline. However, that hero card is not considered to be either in your hand or in the storyline. At the end of his turn, if there is no hero card next to this card, you may choose the starting hand card of any hero not in play and place it next to this card. If he's KO'd, you're going to remove this hero card from the game, and it can't be chosen anymore. So, unless there's a hero that has two starting hand cards, which there are a few, you can't use the same hero again. That's what that's saying. And that is special to Hulkling. Nobody else has that. Pretty sure nobody else has that. I haven't played with all the characters in the new set. Equipment card is typically one use, and then it flips, and there's a way to get it back, or there's not. There are exceptions to that. Captain Britain Betsy, her sword is pimped. Team cards. And I've already doled them out, but the team cards, they look like a standard hero card. That's what a standard hero card looks like. So there's two of those four symbols that I was telling you about. So on your turn, instead of drawing, you can instead grab one of the team cards that's showing, and you can put that in the storyline instead of drawing a card and playing a card. Now, each team deck also has a negative card, a drawback card, as I've been calling it, but I think they call it negative. That's what they look like, and yes, that means it's already shown up. So, unfortunately, Team Iron Man is going to be starting with this negative until somebody gets rid of this stupid card. Yeah, it's horrible. Theirs is not the worst. I'll say that. This is actually that negative is actually dealable. You can deal with that negative. You can deal, work around it. They have to start their turn there. It, the only thing that would really ruin a strategy with that particular negative is if the villain adds them after you've taken them home. That's really the only chance of failure there. You can set the rest up yourself. So I might not play that right away. The way you get rid of those negatives is you actually get the card, you play it in the storyline, but they don't have any effect that turn. So that turn you're just dealing with the negative. Now we're also going to be dealing with complications right out of the box, pretty much. So having to deal with that, having to deal with complications, we'll just see. We'll see when we see what the complication is. We'll see if we get rid of that right away. Another thing is playing with teams. Teams make it easier to win. It's a lot easier to beat the villain when you're playing in team mode. The 3 and 3 on 1, or however many villains it is, the 3 and 3 on villain is pretty easy. So that's why we're doing 2 challenges. Equipment makes it easy as well. So 2 challenges. The team decks kind of make it easier. If you run out of cards in your deck, you still lose, but if you're playing team cards, then it's like you have more cards in your deck. So it does make it easier. The advanced training does make it easier. So hopefully, and Blastaar does not look like an easy villain, I'll say that. But it's got to be all heroes. I think it's all of the team. So I didn't read Blastaar's team rules, but I'm going to assume that if all of one team is in the negative zone, you lose as well. So we're gonna play to that. We're gonna play like that because I think I've already botched the instructions. Blastaar back up. Yeah, we'll double check it. I'm gonna get a drink and we'll double check it. I don't like lying. Hey, look at that. If a team has all their heroes on the negative zone card, they're out of the game, and the opposite team continues playing on their own storyline. Seemed like a no-brainer because it was. Okay. All right. I think we're good. I think we're ready to do the master plan card. Let's get it out. Oh, I didn't draw cards. Let me draw. So before you do your master plan card, go ahead and draw your 3 cards for each hero of your hand. Because your hand is your health. Now, while I'm doing this again, this is not Commander solo mode or shield mode. Those are 2 different solo modes. This is me just playing. This is me playing it as if you'd be playing it with your friends. So playing all the heroes, which will make it go quicker. No need to communicate with myself much. Although communicating with you is kind of like communicating with myself. Anyway. Okay. Hands are drawn. So, first master plan card. That's what a master plan card looks like. So he's going to move one clockwise, and then he's going to bam. And then, opening a portal, bring back one cleared threat into play in the next clockwise location without a threat, if possible. Put that there. Alright. We'll resolve that in just a second, but since the first complication has shown up, as it states, you resolve it immediately. So the first complication is, what is that? Kidnapped. Holy shit. As long as this card is in play, civilians rescued by heroes are placed here. Discard when, at the end of a hero's turn, there are 3 or more civilians here. That one's not bad. That one's just kind of cool. So, of all the complications I've seen, that one is the least bad. We'll put... Oh, I was going to flip the... forgot about that. I'm going to go ahead and flip the coin again since you didn't see it. So, blue team will be going first. That's what that means. Alright. So, now Blastaar moves 1 clockwise to Camp Hammond. He bams, which, like I read earlier, he would move a hero in his location or an adjacent... Oh, I'm adjacent. Okay. So move 1 hero in his location or an adjacent one to the negative zone, if possible. If not possible, draw a master plan card and add it face down to the storyline. Well, it is possible. So, we got to pick. Let's pick... We'll put Samson in there. Why not? He's super smart. And then deal 1 damage to each hero. Deal 1 damage to 1 hero in each location adjacent to his and in the location opposite him. Okay, so each hero in so right where they are, they started in the exact wrong places. So 1 hero also has to take a damage in each. So we'll say Simon. Wonder Man's going to take the damage. I guess I should look at my cards before I decide that. Yeah, it's probably going to be him. Actually, Tigra. Tigra is going to take that hit. Done. And then the Young Avengers, I think Hulkling's probably going to take it. Hulkling is going to take that. And the reason being is because I saw, well, starting hand card is a healing factor. So, okay. And then he drops a, he's got a weird drop. So he drops 1 thug on his location. He drops 1 thug here. And he drops a thug and a civilian here. There. All right, and then it's going to be the blue team. So in a standard game, and nothing is messing with this, is Loki there? Yes. In a standard game, and nothing in Blastaar's rules mess with this particular portion of the standard game. There we go. So, what was I saying? In a standard game, the villain goes every 3 hero cards. Now with team mode, you still do a standard turn. So each team is going to get 3 cards, and then the villain's going to go. And then once the villain is under pressure, and we'll cover that, I should have covered it earlier. Once the villain's under pressure, he's going to go every 2 heroes. So right now, Blastaar we can't hurt him. He's technically invulnerable right now. we have to complete 2 missions. In a standard game, you have to complete 2 missions to deal damage to the villain. Once you complete 1 mission, they become I just said it. Under pressure. Once you complete 1 mission, the villain becomes under pressure. You complete the 2nd mission, the villain becomes damageable. And then once you complete the 3rd mission, everybody draws a card. It's a heal. So in this, when you're playing with teams, it still applies, but it applies per team. So once you complete the 1st mission, he comes under pressure for everybody, which is rough. Once you complete the 2nd mission, the team that completed their 2nd mission can damage him. So if one completes their 2nd one first, they have the advantage. And then once a team completes all 3, they all draw a card on that team. So it's kind of the same, but just for the team. All right. Now, we can't complete the rescue civilians mission right away. Kinda. It doesn't really get in the way of it. So with kidnapped being out, it's not really going to hamper much. We're going to have to, however, we are going to have to keep track of who rescued them. Yeah, we're going to have to do that. So what I'll do is, and Andrea, if you're watching any of the Spin Masters, that's probably going to need to be a FAQ or an errata for Blastaar. So, or not for Blastaar, for the complications. Although I didn't look at, that might be in the box for Annihilation, actually. Complications are in there. So it could already be there. Y'all are smarter than me, so it probably is. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep them separate. So we'll consider green, yellow team, and black, blue team. And I'll just place the civilians that he gets there. That'll help me keep track of it. Alright. The missions are covered under pressure. How to beat the villain. Alright, so we're doing a turn. Blue team goes. You get to decide who goes first. Probably Hulkling. We're going to do Hulkling first. So Hulkling's going to go first. On your turn, you draw a card. First thing you do is you draw a card. And you look at your cards. And you pick one. So that's useless right now because I don't have another hero card out. So that's good for the next person, but to me it feels like a no-brainer. We're going to go ahead and put his healing factor on, especially since he's the one that took the damage. So we'll put his healing factor out. That means he gets 1 rescue, and that is all. Which he will do. So they're the blue team, which means I'm going to put on the black portion. It's now the end of his turn because he can't move or anything. So I've already chosen a starting hand card. And look at that, it's from one of his teammates too. So we're going to put that on his impersonating card. So he's going to gain the benefit of this until he gets a KO. Now, if you didn't read it, it has a drawback too. So, as long as this card is spaced up in the storyline, each time you enter a location with no heroes, you may punch there. Each time another hero enters your location, they must discard 1 card. He steps on it. So Hulkling is massive now. Now that's only when they enter his location. It doesn't say if they're there. So I guess it's more like he doesn't notice them if they land there, however you want to do that. But if he enters their location, they don't discard. So it's just something to remember. If they end their turn, enter, not enter. So anytime they enter his location, even if they're passing through it, they're going to take a damage. So just got to remember that. All right, and that's somebody else. So now I'll say this because I'm probably about to use an equipment card, although I didn't use his. I'm not going to use these, but I'll probably use Kate's. I think we're going to be Wiccan. Alright, so Wiccan has drawn one of the 4 cards now in his hand is a Loki, alligator Loki card. So the pet cards look just like a hero card with a bit of a glare. Alright. So you play them just like a hero card. So in essence, the pet cards give you 3 more hero cards. Makes it easier. Plus the pets you can move, and the pets can do stuff in their zones. So if like you're playing with the Fin Fang Foom challenge, you can use your pet to not wake up Fin Fang Foom. Yeah, pretty cool. So like we'll be using a wild magic card. Step aside what to do. So wild magic is actually pretty good. So you get to choose one of 3. Move to any location, or another hero in your location draws a card, or reveal the top card of the Master Plan deck. All those are really good. Now, I don't know that we've ever played reveals in a team setting. Huh. I would imagine it's just for your team. So if you've got a reveal, then I would assume it's only your team that sees it. We're going to play it like that. So it's kind of unfair against myself. Moving's probably not a bad idea, so we're going to move. We're going to take the move, which works with their ring anyway. Because Wiccan and Hulkling are married. That's they have matching rings. And the rings can move into each other. So I think we're going to start. We're going to start on hand. So we'll rescue a civilian, and we'll beat a thug. I didn't really point it out to you, but it should be obvious. The teams have their own mission cards. That's why it looks a little bit different setup-wise than before. These are going to be for placing health, Blastaar's health. That's why it's a little bit different than the setup from the last one. So Wiccan teleported to Camp Hammond, and then he punched a thug, and he rescued the civilian. He's done. Which means back to Kate. Now Kate comes with a just shit ton of arrows, just like Hawkeye. Can't wait to get all my sleeves in. Oh yeah, what I was saying about equipment earlier. I personally haven't seen a reason to not use equipment as soon as you can, as often as you can. Me personally, because it's usually a pretty quickly paced game. The only reason I can think of to not use one as soon as you can is just strategy. Like against the Skrulls, you have to deal 3 damage to them in a turn to get rid of them. So saving equipment up for something like that, I can understand. Okay, the only one that's handy right now is Trick Arrow, or Trick Arrow Wire. So the Wire Arrow is the only one that's handy right now, and it is handy. So first thing we'll do is we'll draw her card. Oops. Okay, all of her cards have special abilities. Okay, and I have your stuff in your dead. We're gonna save that. That's useless. That is not. That's actually really good. Kate is really good. Wow. She might be Spider-Man good. Okay. So we're going to use better branding. Sorry. So she gets 2 rescues, and for each civilian rescued with the special effect at the end of her turn, she's going to gain a rescue token as well. And it's got a move on it. And Wiccan gave her a wild, so she's got a wild, a move, and 2 rescues. So it should be obvious what she's going to do. She'll be moved. Oh, I didn't move Loki. Do I want to move Loki? No, I didn't do it. I'll do it next turn because I forgot. So if she's going to move, she's going to use the 2 rescues. It is going to do more than 3 on the complications. The complication is gone. Which means the Young Avengers are dangerously close to putting Blastaar under pressure. So they should probably work on something else for a while. Okay, complication done. Then she's got the wild from Wiccan, and she has her wire arrow, which we are going to use. So the wire arrow says use to move and rescue, and then turn it face down. Pretty good to drop. Totally. So using the wild from Wiccan, the rescue she just got, we're going to complete this negative zone portal. So this threat is squashed. Spot threats, there we go. That threat out of the way, which means we take the threat icon and we put it on the clear threats for play. So blue team needs 1 more civilian or 1 more threat to put Blastaar under pressure, and then if they get both, then they'll be able to damage Blastaar. Looking good. We'll do a quick status break. Status drink break after blue team. See. Sleeves are out for delivery. Okay. Blue team having finished their turn, we move on to the yellow team. So we can either do Doc Samson first, and he can let himself out with 2 actions, or one of the others can let him out with 1 rescue, which is probably what we're going to do. Oh man, the growth, the gigantic size card could hurt other heroes in team mode, I think. That's rough. That's something to remember for later. Playing with the gang. That's rough. Anyway, we're not going to do Samson first. We'll do... Tiger's the one that took the hit, so we'll do her first. Oh, she's starting... That's funny. She is starting the turn in a location with one or more civilians. That is rough. I don't think I'm gonna get rid of it. Yeah, we're not gonna get rid of it. So because the team's negative is up, she's gonna lose one of the icons. No, she has to forfeit one available punch action. That's not that bad. I mean, she's not even gonna play a punch. That's not that bad. So she's just going to play a move and rescue. She doesn't have a punch, so she doesn't forfeit anything. Now, in team mode, the card cycle looks a little different. What you do is you play it like so. Actually, we have found that doesn't work well, so we're going to play it like so. So when you're playing with teams, that's the way you should set up your card cycle, because it's standard. And that way you can see all the icons. We used to set it up the other way, and you couldn't see the second person's icons. It had you moving the cards around a lot, but if you just do that, you should be fine. Anyway, so Tiger gets a move, and she gets a rescue. I think she's going to be the one to rescue Samson. Now, the way the negative zone portals read, bring a hero from the negative zone card back into play in the opposite location. So it reads like it's the opposite location from the person doing it. So opposite location from Tiger is the way that reads. So she's going to use her rescue to put Samson at Bishop Publishing. Oh, I forgot. Kate could have added to this location to gain a rescue. I also forgot her tokens. She rescued 2 civilians, so she actually has 2 tokens. But I don't see any reason to do that. It would be helping the other team out. So there's no reason for her to do that. Kate's not that nice. Anyway, so Tiger has rescued Samson, then she has to decide whether she wants to move or not. Might be a good idea. Yeah, she's going to move. She's moving to Rushmore. Okay. And then we'll do Simon, which is Wonder Man, excuse me. Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to use his near immortality. As long as this card is face up in the storyline, if you start your turn with one card in hand, draw 2 cards during your draw a card step. So pretty much like Hulklings. So he gets the benefit from Tigra's move and rescue, and then his wild. I think it would be smart to clear the mansion. Yeah. Oh no, because we got overflow to worry about. And that overflow. Yeah. So he's going to handle the overflow. We'll worry about the heal next turn. So the end of turn on the Avengers Mansion is a heal. We do need to get it open pretty quick, but since the location was already full of civilians, we got to keep that in mind also. So he's instead going to focus on clearing civilians. And also not going to use his move, so the next turn he can focus on the heal, which means it's Doc Samson. Currently, I don't see any reason to play either of his special cards, so he's just going to do a standard move and punch. Because what we're doing is that's setting up the next hero. That's what that is. Alright, so he gets to move, and he's got a punch and a wild left, so he's going to get rid of 2 bugs. Now, all 3 heroes on each team have gone, which means that is Blastaar's turn again. So, another. Same card, opening the portal, so he's going to move 4 this time. That's not him. 1, 2, 3. He moves to Kate. And then he bams. So Kate goes to the negative zone. Now he's going to do a lot of damage. So 1 damage to Hulkling, to Samson, and to Wonder Man. Ouch. The drawback. You start your turn with 1 card. Hulkling is villain turn. At the end of the villain turn. Okay, so Hulkling is going to be at the end of the villain turn. Wonder Man is the starting of his turn. Got it. Okay. So Wonder Man takes 1. Pretty obvious. Samson takes 1. There's 1 for him too. Samson would be really good against MODOK. And then Hulkling. Pretty obvious. And then he drops 1 of each in his location. thug in each location of the site. Or adjacent to, excuse me, the terminology is adjacent to. Okay. Blastaar's got jungle fever. Tiger's got jungle fever. Okay, and now we go again, but this time it flips. Blue team went first last time, so this team, or this turn, is going to be yellow team first. And it is Tigra. Tiger's got jungle fever. Let's see. Yeah, I think we can do that. We got 2 civilians left. What a waste. Oh well, I already drew it. Since I already drew, I'm not going to play the team card. I should have played the team card. So she's going to play reflexes, which means she's going to ignore the first damage that she would take on the villain's next turn. She has to ignore one of those 2 punches she's got. So she's got 2 moves, 2 punches, -1. So 2 moves, 1 punch. Doesn't matter too much where. I think they necessarily need to worry about civilians, so that end of turn doesn't really appeal to me much. Oh yeah, that's actually back anyway. I forgot about that. So the threat, Blastaar brought the threat back. So that end of turn isn't there anymore anyway. Never mind. So she'll go help with campaign. And then it's, yep, Wonder Man is next. He is going to use the team card. When you play the negative team card, it tells you to play it face down. So, done. Which that means we immediately replace it with a much better one. And he gets 1 move, 1 punch. I don't really see any reason to move, so he'll just punch. Let's see. All right, Samson. Goodness. This team is all punches. So we're just going to do a throwaway card. Not really going to do it. Throwaway means you've got a card in your hand that's not very good, but you don't want to waste the others. It doesn't really set the next hero up very well, but I mean, ups and downs, checks and balances. So he's got 2 punches and a move. Yellow team's not doing too good. They're about to put the villain under pressure too. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. Alright, done. Villain is now under pressure. Now in team mode, that's not going to happen until after the full team goes. But thereon, it will be every 2 heroes. Alright, blue team, starting with Hulkling. Oh yeah, I forgot he healed before. At the end of the villain turn, he drew 2 cards. I just forgot. He's got a move from Kate. Looking at their team cards, probably should be. All right, so I think he's going to get Kate out. So he's got 2 moves and he's got a rescue. So if he gets Kate out now, she's going to pop up a Camp Hammond. So I think that's the smart choice. And then he'll move afterwards so that he can take advantage of his size. Yeah, we'll do that. So he's going to use the rescue to bring Kate out, and then he's going to use a move to go here. Since there's no hero there, he's going to get a free punch. I think I need to move again. Oh, by the way, Bishop Publishing, if you rescue more than 1 civilian, you actually take a damage there. So, something to remember. Yeah, I think he's actually going to move back. Alright. So, Wiccan is next. I don't want to use either of those team cards yet because they're pretty specific. So he's going to draw. He is going to move Alligator Loki to Bishop Publishing. He's got a move and rescue. They can't do both. So that's going to be on Kate. He's going to use another wild magic. So, move to any location, or another hero in your location draws a card, or reveal the top card of the master plan deck. So he's going to again move to any location. Uh, Second. He's actually going to move over here to where Loki is. He's going to use the rescue. It's going to finish up there. Rescue civilians. Still got a wild and a move. So he's going to move there, and he's going to put a token on that threat. Alright. That's Kate. Still not going to use the team cards. Kate is about to pop up. Actually, there's no civilians, so she's not even really going to pop up. Probably no reason to use those tokens yet. That was me forgetting something earlier. Fixed. Okay. And all I got is a wild. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. I'm going to use that. Alright, we're going to use her skilled marksman card. No, we're not going to use the special quite yet. First thing we're going to do is we're going to use her 2 rescue tokens to get rid of that threat. Which means they can now damage Blastaar. And if she ends her turn there, she's also going to be able to do the Camp Hammond. I don't think I want to use any of her trick arrows yet. Actually, I might. Man, chem particles are useless in this game. Keep doing that to myself. Alright, we're going to use the trick arrow. It's only going to target one person, but it's worth it. Trick arrow. Explosive trick arrow. I don't know why I keep doing that. Sorry. Freud was right. So she's going to move. She is going to use the 2 damage and the explosive arrow to deal 3 damage. 3 damage to Blastaar here. Why is it not? There we go. So, since she is now adjacent to Blastaar, she's going to deal 2 plus 1 damage to Blastaar. 3. She's only used her move. She's got a wild left, so she's going to use that wild to move back to Camp Hammond so that she gets to pick a training card. So we have 2 to choose from. Both of them are discards. Teamwork training, double the rescue symbols at the bottom of the previous hero card in the storyline. And the other teamwork training is the flip of that. same with punches. So she already has a decent amount of rescues, so I'm going to pick the punch. The other one goes to the bottom of the deck. And that's Kate done, I believe. Yep, Kate is done. So again, oh yeah, I forgot. For 3 damage, does not go back in the pool, it goes on their team marker. So as of right now, Team Blue is ahead by 3. But it is Blastaar's turn. So, King Blastaar. He's going to move 3. Puts him with Simon. Each hero in a location with a negative zone portal threat must either discard a random card from their hand to the bottom of their deck or be moved to the negative zone card. Well, that is everyone except for Kate and Tigra. So ironically, what that means is I can move everybody to the negative zone and still not lose, because one member of each team just so happens to be out of it. That's a lot to think about. So while I'm thinking about that, we'll reveal the complication that showed up. Hired thugs. As long as this card is in play, each time a master plan card adds a thug, add 1 additional thug to the villain's location. Okay. Discard when a hero defeats 3 or more thugs in a single turn. Okay. All right. That one's pretty rough. That one's pretty rough. Now, luckily, I've been on top of the heroes and thugs. Blastaar, by the way, is not nearly as hard as I thought he was going to be. When I said that, I didn't look his master plan cards. His dashboard makes him seem scary, but his master plan cards, no. Okay, so now, if Hulkwing takes a damage, he will not get his heal attack, because he already healed back up. If Simon takes the damage, he's going to heal. So I think Simon's going to take the damage. He's not going to go to the negative zone. Alright, so Wonder Man took a damage. He's not going to the negative zone. Samson will go to the zone again. Hulkling can take the damage. Maybe. Yeah, Hulkling's going to take the damage. He has a couple of craft cards anyway. So, toss. Wiccan will go to the zone. Alright. Good. Now we need to drop he drops 1 of each at his zone, so 2 thugs at his zone, because of the complication. And then, just his zone. Alright. Got it. So 2 and 1 on his zone, which is going to overflow. That sucks. Good time to hit. 1 on each adjacent. So it overflowed for the first time. Bring back 1 randomly cleared threat in play the first clockwise look. So it's back. That sucks. Well, at least Kate got the benefit from it. We got Tigra. Tigra is up. Tigra's in. Now, the yellow team still cannot damage him. They gotta complete one more, which they're not even close to. Yeah, not even close to. They cannot complete the civilians. So it's got to be threats, but it can't be the ones that came back in. She doesn't have much to work with. And Samson gave her nothing. Fantastic. So Tiger is going to be forced to either get a... Oh yeah, I need to decide on that before I draw. She'll use a team card. Maybe not. She's not going to use a team card. Because they're all... The Avengers are very punchy. She's just going to use a single rescue, which means she's got a wasted punch. Which means she'll bring him out. That would be bad. She's not going to do that. She's going to put a token on that. Yeah. Her punch is wasted, so she is done. Which puts us at silent. Alright, so he gets to draw 2 cards because he's down to 1 at the beginning of his turn. He draws his card. Okay, so flight. He's got a rescue from her. Probably going to use flight. We're going to use flight. So flight's a pretty cool card actually. Samson's not going to like it, but whatever. So he's got 2 moves, a wild and a rescue. He will use the rescue to put Samson at Bishop Publishing. That leaves him 2 moves and a wild. He is going to move, and clear that threat. That's their first cleared threat. Okay, Samson's turn. He is super punchy, so I'm hoping he gets something else this turn. Kinda. He's going to use his Gamma Energy Drain finally. So, now that I have a special card not doing anything, you may turn another hero's card with special effects in the storyline face down. If you do, gain a wild. Oh, actually, he didn't get to go yet. Forgot about that. We'll just keep that card. Because the villain's under pressure now. Forgot about that. So, it's actually the Young Avengers' turn, which starts with Hulkling. Okay. Card. And he gets a move from Kate. Ring is still useless. So he's going to play a move and a punch, probably. Yeah. He's gonna play a move and a punch. So he's got 2 moves and a punch, which is just enough to get him to Blastaar. Supersize has to be used on the thug, I think. Oh no, it doesn't. So he gets a free punch because of gigantic size also. So he moves, and punches. And 2 damage to Blastaar. That was pretty good, actually. Should have got his husband out there, but I didn't have a rescue. Even in my hand. So I can't use teleport or the ring. I can't use the ring to get out of there, so he's stuck with what he gets in his hand. Hulkling gave me 2 actions, so I do have those. Okay. He can go anywhere with a negative zone portal threat. Look at that, there's one on Blastaar. So we're going to set Kate up for next turn. Always consider the lay. We're setting Kate up with a move and a punch. So he's going to use the 2 actions from Hulkling to get out of the negative zone, go to Blastaar, and then he'll use a punch. If the heroes win, it's obvious that the blue team wins the contest. But it is Blastaar's turn, so let's see how they do. Okay. Concussive kinetic force. Move heroes and location. Okay, first I move 2 and bam. Sorry. 1, 2, bam. Okay, so the ladies are going to take. Oh, and Samson. The ladies and Samson are going to be taking a damage first and foremost. I don't think Kate can get out of that. Nope. Choice. Tiger can't get out of that. That hurt. Alright, now move heroes in locations adjacent to Blastaar, 1 location away from him. Move heroes in his location to the opposite location. So it only affects Samson. He moves over to Wonder Man. And then he's going to overflow in his zone again. Which brings it back. Because he would be putting 3 tokens in his zone, but there's no room. And then he does 1 and 1 in the other side. A bastard. Okay. So now it flips back to blue team. Or actually, that was blue team. Sorry, I just forgot the token. Flips back to yellow team. And it is Samson's turn. Samson's turn. He is now in the negative zone. He was given a move. So we're going to stick with the original plan. He's going to use the Gamma Energy Drain. He will be flipping Tiger's reflex card face down. Okay. Now he has to spend 2 of his actions to get out of the damn zone. But he's got 4 actions. So they still need, what do they need? They need 3 civilians or 1 threat. There aren't 3 civilians. Is there a threat with the token? No. Or Blastaar is there. So he'll. I'm not going to do that. He'll jump out at Mount Rushmore. He'll put a token. That's probably not a smart idea. Oh, goodness, that's the only side with any. That really sucks. And then he'll put a token on the portal there. And that's all he can do. Move, wild. Yep, he's done. So then it goes back to Tigra. She gets his move. all she's got. Oh, what am I doing? So she's just going to play a simple move and a punch. That's all she's got. The yellow team is struggling. They're too punchy. Move, move, punch. Actually doing it there doesn't do anything. She will also go to Rushmore. Punch. Doesn't even get credit for it, it just goes to discard. And then it's back to blue team. And who goes? Hopefully, right? Oh. Kate. Kate's up. So we're just on straight damage, but he's on the other side of the damn board. She got a move and a punch. Twice. Probably smoke bombing, but that's really all she's going to have, pool-wise. So she's going to do standard move and a punch. Move, move, punch, punch. Since, she's going to double the punch symbols at the bottom of the previous hero's story, hero card in the storyline. So she gets an extra one, but there's no one to do it to. So I'm not going to use that just yet, because that's still the best choice, is that direction. Yeah. Unfortunately. Yeah, she's going to save that. There's nothing to use now. But she is going to smoke bomb in. Why would she do that? It's not a hero. It still affects them. She'll smoke bomb in that location. Because it has to be Jason, right? Yes. Alright, after Kate is Hulkling. Not down to one card, so he just draws one. She gave him a move and a punch. Almost not worth it. He's going to do that. So he's just going to use standard move. It's going to suck for Tigra and Samson because they're going to take a damage. That's actually going to knock her out. So probably not going to do that actually, because that would make him play another. Yeah, he gets to play another card if I do that, so he's not going to do that. He will play it, but he's not going to move there. He will move here. Yeah, and that's it. Fortunately, Blastaar is going to go 0 and bam. Of course, I knew that was going to happen. So Kate, Tigra, Samson all take damage. Tigra is knocked out. Oh yeah, first I need to solve this. As long as it's in play when the villain activates their ban, they additionally deal 1 damage to 1 hero in the opposite location. Ouch. At the end of a hero turn, if there are heroes in both locations adjacent to a villain, or all heroes are in the location opposite. So it's going to go away at the end of this turn. There's that. But Hulkling is going to take 2. That would knock him out, so I'm going to go ahead and use his ring to negate 1 of it. Which means he still takes 1. And then Kate, Tigra, and Samson. Alright, Tigra gets KO'd. Side maneuver goes away. And then another master plan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He goes to Samson's. He bams. So it's going to be he can't take any damage or bonus damage, but Wiccan can. Same and adjacent. No. So Samson goes back to the zone. Wiccan takes the damage. These cards are shitty. Where's my card? Oh, there it is. Accelerate the invasion. If at the end of this villain turn all the negative zone portal threats are in play, accelerate the next villain card by 1, which they are. That sucks. So we're only going to get 1 hero, and then he's going to go again. And then he's going to do his zone 1 and 1. 1, so overflow, of course. Alright, and since I can't put another threat out, 1 hero in that location and 1 adjacent takes the damage, that's probably going to be Kate. It's got to be Kate. So Kate is knocked out also. Now, when they get knocked out, I believe their team training, or their advanced training goes away. There's another one. It's going to be a 3 and bam. Do this first. As long as this card's in play, each hero can't have more than 1 action token at any time, and they must immediately discard tokens in excess. All missions have been completed. Okay. So those 2 are both still out. Okay, so Hulkling's going to take another damage, which he can't prevent any longer, which is going to knock him out. Damn! Wonder Man is going to the zone. Used. And we got a lot of tokens to put out. 2 thugs in his. 2 civvies. Okay. One more. So bam. Not going to affect anybody. If at the start of the next villain turn there are any heroes in the negative zone, the heroes immediately lose the game. And there's a lot of overflow, but it doesn't matter. You know, there's 2 overflow, but neither of them matter. Because there's nobody to deal damage to. Okay. Blue team starts barely with, who is that? Wickham? Yep. Well, he's the only one standing. I thought he was down. Nope. He's the only one. Oh, that does mean he took a damage. So, yeah. He'll use his range. Why not? Alright. And what did I get from my partner? I got to move. So he'll move to where his boy went down. Since he doesn't count as being there, he's not going to take the damage. Oh, I need to play the card first. He's going to play Force Blast. So he's going to move over there, and he's going to deal 2 damage over here to Blastaar. That sucked. Can't have an action token. Okay. Not doing anything with it. Then I think it's Kate. Oh no, it's only one card. That's right, because he is accelerated. So next team is Wonder Man. Oh, we're gonna lose. There's only one way to not lose this. Let me see if Wonder Man can do it. What's he working with? He's working with a move and a punch. He will barely be able to pull this off. Okay. So I'm forced to play Invulnerability. You got a move and a punch. He's going to spend both of those to get out, which means he can go to any location with the portal. They still need, yeah, they still can't damage him. So Mount Rushmore again, and then he will be forced to spend his uh, rescue, or his wild as a rescue to pull Samson out, although Samson's going to go over here. So maybe he should go over there. Yeah, that'd be smarter. So he comes over here, and he pulls Samson out over there. Yeah, that's much smarter. That's much smarter. But then it's Blastaar's turn. 4 and bam. 1, 2, 3, 4. If at the start of the next villain turn there are any heroes in the negative zone, you win again. Okay, so. Luckily, no overflow this time. Which is amazing because I did like no work last round. And that was crazy. But the BAM does happen, so Wiccan is going to take a damage, and Samson is going to take a damage, which is going to knock him out. Wiccan is not knocked out, Samson is. Which means Blastaar goes again. 1 and bam. Oh, we lose. Yeah, we actually lose. Since he got to go again, because Exiled Forever was here, or was up and he was here, we actually lose. So, as soon as he goes again, the heroes lose. So that is what we call So how did our heroes do against Blastaar? All those chain KOs, man. Having everybody at 1 health right then is what did it. What's funny is that's how close we were. Look at that. One single punch. The Avengers really sucked at this. They were so punchy. They're so punchy. Like even their team cards. Look at that. All the hero cards are punchy. All the team cards are punchy. If the Avengers had not been so, then the game would have been over a long time ago. Actually, I mean the Young Avengers were still tearing it up. They easily were the MVPs. They would have had this if they weren't pulling the weight of 2 teams. They did 8 out of 9 damage. So Blastaar's cool with a carefully placed team, and with a carefully placed team, and teams, of course, he'd be toast. But with in a standard game, he'd actually be competitive. I would call him one of the best. But he's fun. I'll tell you that. It's a fun gimmick. I like it. Not as fun as some of the, not like Mojo or Modoc, some of them. But he is fun. I like it. I think they represented him well too. So I'm going to give Blastaar. Blastaar himself, we're going to give. He did good. The Iron Man Avengers. No. But the Young Avengers, versatile as shit. Kate is probably one of the better characters in the game. I'm gonna be honest. Kate is really good. Hulkling is cool. Hulkling with stature is really cool, especially if you're doing a team. If you're doing a team game with the Young Avengers, Hulkling with stature starting card is sick because you could just walk all over the other team or set yourself up. You can't really walk all over them, but you can set yourself up to where they don't want to come into your zone. I like that a lot. There might be a fact or errata out there. I'll have to look, maybe ask Andrea if that's the way it was meant. But in teams, it may not affect the other team. We'll see. It should. That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. In the verses, it should. I'm really wanting to do a Sinister Six game next with the new Sinister Six. So the next learning game or next breakdown game might be Sinister Six, unless I get a strong request from anybody for something else. But regardless, I think that's going to be it for this time. So I'll catch you cats on the flip side.